did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby, they don't want you to see, but everybody's out to Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me? I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I hate
for
these
us.
average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my old flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete, I'm a verbal athlete. Deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building, my whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Grand Rising and good morning, great people out there. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and we want to just welcome you to a magnificent Monday. I'm deeming it. It's magnificent, right, Salman? All right. Well, it's going to continue to get even more magnificent with my guy, Big O. What up, Big O? Joining us from what? P.O. All right. What's good, Big O?
Parts unknown.
There we go.
Hey, good morning, Trey Holiday, man. Happy Monday. I'm feeling good. Man, you look good. Like that studio setup is amazing. Good job. Wow.
Wait, hey, Salman gets it right over here. You know how we do.
Yeah, I'm saying.
How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. On the road, lots of exciting stuff going on. Can't wait to fill in our audience here. We've been busy. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm joining everybody remotely here for the next few days. Back in the studio on Thursday when we have Chief Scoggins, Fire Chief Scoggins. He's looking for some black firefighters, and he coming to Converge to talk about it. So I'll be back there on Thursday. But until then, be joining you right here. Man, we got a full show today. It'll still be full. Unfortunately, Tommie Shaw was on the way to the studio this morning and got an offender bender, so she won't be joining us. We're going to reschedule with her. But we are going to be joined by Besa Gordon. And Besa, man, we have a conversation. I think everybody saw what happened at the Oscars last night with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Did you see that?
I did not. So I'm about to get all the way filled in.
Oh, wow. Well, this is good. I'm glad you haven't seen it. So we'll get your reaction on everything. Um, then we'll talk about a few other things. There you go. No, this is talking to someone. You know, it's weird being behind the computer. I haven't been here in a long time. I'm good, Salman, at the moment. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. And yeah, we'll get to this Will Smith thing. But also, man, real important, Trey Holiday. On Saturday, I was there at Mount Baker, and for the inaugural in-person event for We Got Us Moms. And you know, Converge has a real special relationship with Donita Sinclair Martin. Um, you know, even before the Seattle protest, even before, and then of course the murder of her son Lorenzo Anderson Jr. And she came on the morning update show right after that, and you recall, and you did the interview.
Yeah.
And then we followed her when she was trying to get communities together over at Jimi Hendrix Park. That was over a year ago, and then I had the opportunity to be there on Saturday to update. You know, it was one of those situations where it was sad but like happy. But
Yeah.
we captured that, so we'll talk about that. Then also Salman, producer Salman, he hit the streets of 23rd and Jackson a few weeks ago and caught up with these brothers, these both brothers over there, 23rd Avenue Brewery. So we're going to be talking about that too. I guess we should get right into it then, right?
There we go. Lots to talk about today. I'm with it.
All right, here we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I want to remind you that right now, yes, right now, is a perfect time for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Pacific Northwest. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and also KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Man, also remind everybody that you can listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. So we've got SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. All you have to do is search Converge Media Network. Let's see here. This is part of the show right here. We're talking about Here For Us. This is the Here For Us WA campaign. And actually, that's what Tommie was joining us for this morning to talk about that. And man, Here For Us, culturally relevant, curated information for our community around the vaccine. And actually being here on the computer tray, I actually get to press a button. Let's see here. We got a Community Voices, the vaccine hesitancy, a Black perspective. That's going to be next Tuesday at 6:30 right here on Converge. And so we can have a continuing conversation.
This is good. I mean, we keep talking about the importance of us uplifting all the perspectives of COVID-19. And I think it would be great because right now we're dealing with a lot of new regulations, a lot of lessening of regulations really around COVID. And so, you know, I think a lot of people are kind of keeping their mask on. They're like, hey, man, last time we saw a huge spike. I'm trying to stay out of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be one of the people contributing to maybe a new spike. So a lot of people are still even hesitant to, you know, go with some of these regulations while you have others who are like, finally, freedom, right? I don't have to breathe in this mask and breathe my own breath. So, you know, you're seeing already it's new perspectives that are popping up. Oh, so I'm glad that we're doing a Community Voices around all of these different perspectives around COVID.
Right. I mean, when I went to Besa Gordon's media mixer there at Gold Bar, they didn't require a mask, but they required a vaccine card. Then when I was at the Moore Theater for More Music with the Moore, they had a rapid test there. We can get a rapid test, a mask, some everything. And so, you know, I mean, and it's up to a property owner, a business owner, what they want to do. So it's going to be a good conversation there. Moving right along, we got to remind everybody that For Culture, they still got the bag open, man. That's right. They got the bag. It's open until April 20th. Salman put the link there in the comments. And Trey Holiday, this is Project Grants.
Yeah, project grants around arts, preservation, and heritage. You know, I mean, this is something that we talk about often in the Black community in particular, because the preservation of certain stories and spaces is so key, particularly when you're dealing with highly gentrified areas. And so I really want to give a huge shout out to For Culture for understanding the need of preservation, but funding to go into projects that are doing that work. Also, you know, not just preservation, but uplifting heritage. We see that both of those, to me, are two impacts that we actually experience because of gentrification. We need to preserve the heritage, we need to preserve spaces and buildings, and we need artwork that does both of those things. So I love that they are being really specific for these project grants. Oh, it's needed.
All right. Touch on this one here quickly. See, Seattle Colleges Foundation, their scholarships. There it is. Man, deadline's coming up April 13th. I really want you to get everything in, I believe, by April 4th at the latest. But the deadline is actually the 13th there. You could get up to $4,000 of scholarship, be able to help you out there on your rent and tuition. Just use the money wisely. But if you're going to be attending Seattle colleges in the fall, check that out. And man, they're really trying to push their enrollment. I know enrollment numbers have been down over the last few years. Lots of great programs going on over there at Seattle colleges.
Absolutely, there are. I encourage folks to, see that as a great solution. They've opened up a lot of opportunities, not only for your credits to transfer to HBCUs pretty effortlessly, but also for you to be able to do some 4-year programs in some of those spaces. So, reach out, make sure you guys are taking use of this scholarship. It's necessary.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff there. All right. So, this was when we talk about We Got Us Moms. And we've been working with Donita in community like years ago. I've been knowing Donita for years. And a relationship, I guess, has just gotten stronger between me, but also has converged after the murder of her son, Lorenzo Anderson Jr.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have a history here on film. The last 2 years of really trying to cover as much, really trying to give as much voice and cover and everything else. Man, it's always emotional talking about this. I told my mama yesterday that being there. Being there that night, Juneteenth, and what we saw, I just always feel like whatever we can do at Converge, we need to do. Anyways, but also Donita called me about 3-4 months ago, and she said, "Boy, you gotta stop crying on TV." So, let me pull it together. I was over there at Mount Baker and checked in with We Got Us Moms.
So today we're having a celebration for We Got Us Moms LLC. This is our first celebration in person. We bring mothers together here, creating a space of understanding. These are mothers that have been impacted by the disease of gun violence. So today we just wanted to share life, give mothers an honor for getting up, not giving up, supporting each other, continuing the fight for their children. We most definitely provided food for everyone. We had different caterers. So we did a certificate of honoring each mother for their fight and their strength. And then, we did have gift certificates. So we want to thank the city of Seattle for that opportunity of the gift certificates. And we just actually had fellowship, just, mothers engaging, introducing each mother to each other, the ones that didn't know each other. And then just family and friends, just supporting them. I think that is very important because this is what community is about. Community is bringing everybody's brilliance together and trying to strategize how we can stop the disease of gun violence. So I think it's most definitely important. We've been going through this since we have lost our children, and so some mothers feel like they've been left behind, forgotten, their children's been forgotten. And so this way we bring each other here so you can know that nobody's forgotten. This is a no wrong door. And when days are dark and we need each other to cry on each other, we are crying on each other. I started it because I was impacted by the disease of gun violence, but I had knew of a few mothers prior that was impacted by the disease of gun violence, and then I seen no support. And not that probably that the city didn't notice them, it's just they probably just so busy and was able to just be overlooked. So I wanted to bring together mothers, some encouraging, some uplifting, and some, fighting for justice. I noticed that when people are killed by the police, they have a lot of more support. Other than, like you said, when kids, children are murdered by their own peer, we always try to fight, point the finger at somebody. But it's not about pointing the finger. It's about how can we find a solution to stop the gun violence, right? How can we find a solution that seeing what it is that our kids and our children and our community is needing. This is a celebration of people that have really been impacted by it. And this is, you know, they was dark earlier. They was dark yesterday. And so they're here today to try to find their light again in their new journey. Giving mothers hope that justice can be served, giving mothers and fathers hope that a family can be reunited again. You know, we go through so many different things when tragedy like this happens. How can we bring our family and our community together? So we're having things like this is, you know, it's plenty of work that needs to be done. So we're just celebrating today, but this is just for our long run, our long journey.
Man. That right there is what it's all about, honestly. You know, it's just such a beautiful thing to see Donita pouring into other mothers after she herself lost her son due to this, you know, this disruption of gun violence. And I really appreciate her message there when we talk about the difference of how people rally around when it's police brutality and police abuse of power and a family loses a loved one. But when we're talking about this you know, really pandemic of gun violence that's on our streets, and you know, a young person or a person being killed by a peer, it doesn't get as much recognition. I just love how she pointed that out. I think it's so true. And so shout out to her for embracing other mothers, for creating this LLC that's so impactful in our community already. And to see them doing something like this that's uplifting mothers, it just really warmed my heart. Oh, I'm so glad that Converge was able to be there to really capture this special moment in our community.
Yeah, it's man, you know, it's never easy, and but it's important. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's important that people see that also this work is going on, and also it's important that these women in our community are uplifted, because you know these women been out here working for a long time before there was fancy names and this and that and grants and all kinds of stuff. These women have been out here for a long time in our community, and oftentimes they're overlooked. Oftentimes people aren't paying attention. You know, I mean, it took pressure, but I mean, in all honesty, she had near the end of her term, Mayor Durkin, you know, started really reaching out. And one of the people that I believe her administration, or she reached out to personally when she came on that last interview of last year, she said that she had met with Donita, and you know, and try to meet with victims and try to meet with parents and everything else. I mean, these guys have to be in the conversation. And so, yeah, thank you to Donita, and thank you to We Got Us Moms for allowing us the opportunity to come there with a camera and uplift them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're so right about women who have been doing this for many, many years. You know, I think about your mother, Mothers for Police Accountability. You know, the ideas of, you know, women in our community always standing up and banding together, honestly, to support one another when they deal with certain things. And so I love the fact that you call that out, oh, because this is really, you know, based on a real legacy of mothers supporting each other without the grant money, without the recognition, without the name. And so I think Donita saw fit to say, no, look, we need to do this at this level. I just love that she took it there because again, the impact that it has on our families and community is strong, and it's just starting. It's going to get even stronger. You know, the idea is that, you know, family members can know that there is an organization and a business that's really geared towards, you know, hey, how do we support each other? How do we continue to uplift each other? How do we continue to be there for one another when it seems like, you know, our kid's name is no longer being talked about in media or whatever? This level of support is just a beautiful thing to see.
I agree with you. Man, we're gonna take a break right here. And interesting news, like you said you haven't seen any of this.
No.
So you might be one of the few people that haven't. And there's so many different takes and spins on what happened there at the Oscars last night with Will Smith and Chris Rock. And yeah, we're going to be joined by Besa Gordon there it is. Besa Gordon's going to be joining us right after the break, and we're going to be talking about what happened at the Oscars. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey there, it's Trey Holiday. And of course, Besa and I had to take a trip back to Market Street Shoes to grab some items. They always know what to show us. And let me tell you, we both spent quality time to be sure we collected some amazing additions to our wardrobes. They have some of the most unique bags, shoes, and accessories. I mean, the whole shebang. It's always a good time when I get to shop with my girl Besa. Make sure you go check out Market Street Shoes, y'all, and you too can walk out with some dope gear.
When the pandemic hit, it did affect me. As a barber, I had my own personal reasons why I didn't get vaccinated. At the time, I didn't check the actual source. I thought the vaccine was developed too fast, but I was talking to a doctor and he was telling me more about the vaccine and what it can do to protect us and our family. I wanted to get back to that once was, right? I do feel safe knowing that I am vaccinated. I just hope what I'm saying is reaching into people's heads to know that this is the best decision for all of us.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Mari, remote studio here. Man,
Trey right here in the Black Media Matter studios.
Black Media looks great too. And then, man, he's jumping off the wall and everything there. It's fantastic. All right, so this happened last night at the Oscars, and what we'll do, I think we'll play the clip. Should we go ahead and play the clip, Besa? Okay, we're gonna. She said, "Hit me with I don't know your show. Do whatever you want to do." Actually, what we'll do is, let me find it. Do we got it in here somewhere? Is it there? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. All right. So basically, what happened last night is, and what you'll see right here is that Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, her hair being bald, right? Said that she was like in the cast for G.I. Jane 2. Remember G.I. Jane 1, Demi Moore shaved her head to be, I think, a Navy SEAL. And you can see like the camera, I was watching it live, the camera, Jada she was like, she wasn't feeling it. Will was kind of laughing, but she wasn't feeling it. And what a lot of people might not know is that Jada, she came out, she said that she has alopecia. And so she had shaved her head, you know what I'm saying? And that's an issue she's been dealing with. And so we're going to play this right now, and then we're going to bring in Jada. This was a clip from we're going to bring in Besa. We're going to bring in Jada too. There's a clip from CBS Morning.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Actress Jada Pinkett Smith was visibly unamused when presenter Chris Rock mocked her shaved head, unlike her husband Will Smith, who was laughing until he wasn't when he marched towards Rock on stage.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me. Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Rock, who seemed visibly shaken for a moment, went on presenting.
All right.
Oh my God. Whoa, y'all.
You're bringing me in like that. Good golly bobsters. Hey, how y'all doing? But second of all, I mean, I guess that already gave you guys the background on what happened. After that, like I said, he was a little bit shaken up. Ironically, Will Smith did still end up winning Best Actor for the movie that he was in, but rumor is going around that he might actually have to give back his Oscar.
He shouldn't have to give back his Oscar for that. I mean, look, he was defending his wife. She wasn't feeling it. He kind of chuckled at first, but when he realized that she was uncomfortable with it, and because of the background with the alopecia, it's not as if she just did that because of a style choice, right? And so it's like you wouldn't mimic or make a joke about somebody who has a shaved head because they're dealing with cancer and radiation. Like, you wouldn't do that. So the idea that, she actually has an issue that said, look, I this is the best thing for me right now because of this medical issue I have. Yeah, it was probably really in poor taste for Chris Rock to even go there in the first place.
Oh, absolutely. I do find it interesting that there's like a lot of, oh my God, I want my man to defend me like Will defended Jada, da-da-da-da-da. But from what I've also heard online, there's been a lot of things where people have said that Will was soft over the years. And then you have the whole August Alsina entanglement. In case you guys didn't know, she basically was dating one of her son's friends, and she pretty much had permission to do it from Will. So a lot of people have been saying that Will was a little soft these days. And like Trey said, he found it funny. Wife did not find it funny. Although she laughed for like a hot second looking at the stage, she definitely looked away and rolled her eyes. And I don't know what they whispered. Somebody's joke was, somebody said she whispered to him, Tupac would have never let him disrespect me like that.
Oh, no.
That's why he kind of did that, because he also walked away laughing. But I honestly think that he was laughing because he knew that Chris Rock wouldn't have done anything. He knew that nobody was going to kick him out. He knew that if he was he knew that he was untouchable in that moment.
It's a lot of, so what I see is a few different questions when I look online. They're like, one, would he have went and slapped a white comedian?
No.
That's something I see a lot of. Two, man, what's the implications on this of black women? You know what I'm saying? We keep talking about those two. And three, does anybody even care about Chris Rock? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got slapped up on national TV.
I mean, he also made a black joke, and didn't he do a whole movie called Good Hair?
He sure did.
He made a joke about a black woman's hair, calling her G.I. Jane when she actually has alopecia. Basically, she has a whole hair condition. And then there are a lot of black women that just genuinely have an issue with growing long hair or healthy hair, typically because we don't know how to take care of it. So for him to sit here and make that particular joke about her, and I'm pretty sure that he knew that she was going to be there, which means that either they wrote the joke for him or he already had that joke prepared. You can't tell me that he was just slinging zingers. Like, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think you're right too. Oh, here, does anybody care if about him getting slapped? I think there is a lot to be said when you start thinking about the ifs, ands, or buts about this. Again, if that was a white comedian, would Will Smith have felt like he was empowered enough to go up there and do that? I highly don't think so. I highly don't think so. Again, we're dealing with people in terms of Black Hollywood that really have to walk on eggshells and a fine line, because the minute that they do something to disrespect certain people in power, they get pulled. A lot of the stuff, it doesn't matter how big they think they are, there's still a small majority of people who are really controlling things over there. And at the end of the day, if that would have been somebody with stronger ties to all of that power, it wouldn't have happened this way.
Yeah. So basically, a few other people have played into this after the fact. Diddy played into it. We see Denzel and Tyler Perry. It looked like they had grabbed Will Smith to the side and talked to him. Talk a little bit about that.
There's a little bit of video, so basically right after the whole situation, I guess they brought out whatever award it was. I didn't watch it. I just watched it via social media like everybody else did. But when they went to commercial, you can actually see Will Smith's publicist comes out. Tyler Perry goes over to Will Smith to talk to him. Denzel goes over to Will Smith to talk to him, and Denzel basically was like, look, right when you're about to have your biggest moment, that is when the devil is going to test you. He's going to be like, hey, how you doing? Let me see if you actually got it together. In that moment, he definitely did not have it together, depending on who you're asking. Diddy said that he was going to fix the situation at the after party. He actually tweeted or posted somewhere on social media that it was okay, but according to sources, Chris Rock's source is saying that that's absolutely not true, and the two have not spoken. And apparently, right after the situation happened, Chris Rock went straight to his dressing room and was, a little shaken up.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I bet he was. But see, the thing is, Mom always said there's a time and place for everything. And that joke right there, and people are like, "Oh, it's just a joke." Well, so there's a few other things that are out there in the Twitterverse, and like Trina says, the ifs and ifs and ands. We got an old saying: "If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk," because there's so many ifs out there. But I just think that, man, you got to know who you dealing with, right? I mean, it's just like you be downtown and all these jokes that I get, somebody want to call you boy. Oh, I was just joking. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to disrespect, somebody want to insult. People are like, yeah, it's comedy, but man, you got to know who you dealing with too. You know what I'm saying? Because people try to disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? But then try to play it off as a joke, talking about I ain't got no sense of humor. Like, yeah, you're right. I ain't got no sense of humor for no disrespect. And I mean, man, to call out anybody's wife about their appearance, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like Lady Gaga wearing a meat suit. You know what I'm saying? Something that's supposed to, I mean, especially like the Met Gala, people go to really get commented on, right? And what they're wearing. These are people sitting over here. This man is nominated for what's Best Actor, which he ended up winning, like you said. Man, kind of minding their own business. And for him to go out there and call out this black woman in this space, you see what I'm saying? I mean, to me, it's something different. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, on the Punch Out on live TV, but man, I could really see Will Smith one way or another handling that, because ain't nobody gonna sit there and disrespect my wife on national TV and think that it's gonna be all right. It's gonna get handled one way or another.
Absolutely. And this is, to Besa's point, even about Chris Rock having, the documentary called Good Hair. I mean, I think it just would have behooved him to be smarter about the decision and make a joke in some other realm, not with Jada, not about her hair. Maybe it was a little riff on Will. You know what I mean? You're right. Instead of going for the wife, maybe you can riff on Will, or something. But the idea of, how jokes can lightweight be considered disrespect, it really is a fine line. And it really does depend on the circumstances, the history, and who you're dealing with. You are right about that. But I think that this right here is one of those things where it's like, man, was it not only poor taste on Chris Rock's part, but also there was probably a whole other way that Will Smith could have dealt with that. And it would have come out just like everything else comes out on social media. Folks would have been able to see, there probably would have been some video if he would have approached Chris Rock at the commercial break and just said, look, man, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Like, this not funny. She's dealing with alopecia, like really bad joke, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, love you and all the other things you do, but this right here ain't cool. There's definitely another way to do that in a more level-headed way.
Or he could have just yelled at him from the seat. I feel like the whole keep my wife's, MF and name out of your mouth from the seat would have been very sufficient. I'm not mad at him for getting up and defending his wife. It's not my job to tell someone how to react or how to defend their loved one. But yeah, I definitely do feel like there's a time and place. But at the same time, with your wife being offended in that moment, and then him looking over at her, and like you said, we're not at home with them. We don't know what they talk about. We don't know what she cries about at night. So it's very possible that this is one, something that's been bothering her. Two, she was dreading it because the last awards show that she went to, someone made a joke about their whole situation, and maybe that was another moment to where she's like, here we go again, because we don't really know what was said when the cameras actually panned away. So yeah, I definitely think that there was a better way to handle this, but I also can understand that I'm in the moment, and being that he publicly embarrassed my wife, I'm going to ultimately embarrass him publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jada gave Will that look. Oh, men know that look. You know what I'm saying? She gave him that look like, oh, that's funny to you. Man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys know when to act right. You know what I'm saying? She gave him that look. And man, like yeah, I mean, the thing is just like on a lot of different levels, man. You know, I mean, if people want to just chalk it up to comedy, but you know what? How black women especially feel about their self-image and their hair and everything else, man, that's not comical. And that's not comical for every, you know what I'm saying? That's in our comedy club. You see what I'm saying? In our Columbia Theater or out there with Nate or something on national TV, international TV. You want to disrespect this woman like that? And so, I mean, that's where I'm saying there's so many other things. People make bad movies. Your box office sales lag, things like that. But the personal appearance around black women, I mean, he just Chris Rock, I think just, man, I mean, if people don't realize now, they better know. You know, don't be playing with these black women, talk about they messing with their hair and everything else. So if you're one of the ignorant, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So look, Besa, before we let you go, what are some of the implications? Like, you know, I mean, what I saw was that the police basically Chris Rock don't want to press charges or something like that, or is Will Smith gonna be able to keep the Oscar?
So we don't necessarily know if Will Smith is going to be able to keep the Oscar or not now. It's kind of just like a rumor from the New York Post and someone that knows the ins and outs of the Oscars. Basically, what he did was like violence and then cussing on TV. So the cussing on TV is like some FCC things. So in terms of the Oscar, we won't necessarily know until the Academy makes another statement. However, they did come out saying that they do not condone violence and they wanted to what did they say? They said, we congratulate the deserving winners or something like that. So that was mad shade. So we'll literally just have to wait and see. And like you said, Chris Rock does not plan on pressing charges.
Wow.
Yeah. So any other thoughts on this, Trey, before we let Besa go?
I think for me, I think we really have hit the nail on the head here. And ultimately, you know, you guys could see me looking at the big monitor because I'm like, whoa, what? You know, I needed to see that stuff on the big screen and see how all this kind of played out. But the truth of the matter is that, man, all love to Jada, you know what I mean? Dealing with something like alopecia publicly, the way that she is as a public figure, says a lot. And you're right, you know, Besa, when you talk about, we don't know if this has really been an issue for her. Also, too, I think that, you know, we'll see, I guess, over time, if Will's able to keep this Oscar. I kind of think it's really unnecessary for them to try to pull it back because it wasn't about, you know, his character, you know, off the screen. It was about how well he played a character on screen. So I really do think that that's some extra stuff where it's like, okay, you guys can really let that go. But especially if Chris Rock is not pressing charges, I think it's something that they're going to have to work out on their own.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that Hollywood makes billions of dollars projecting violence every day into homes not only here in America, but around the world. Seriously. Hollywood is the biggest purveyor of violence, you know what I'm saying, in the world. But JP brought a comment up here and on YouTube, and which we got a lot of people watching on YouTube. JP says, let me put this back up here, is that type of impulsive action is dangerous and causes a lot of crime that we see today. And what I will say with that, what JP hit on, is that although these guys are black, they're rich. You see what I'm saying? And most likely not, you know, I mean, it's whatever. They're rich. But what happens, though, at the Safeway? You know what I'm saying? Or what happens there on 29th and Jackson or on Othello or whatever, what example? You know, it don't end like that. It don't end with the publicist. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's over there. It's like, oh man, well, you done disrespected my wife, my girlfriend, and they slap somebody and whatever. It don't end with Tyler Perry coming down there and Denzel being, hey, the devil's watching, and the publicist and everything else. It usually ends with somebody going and getting one of them things. You know what I'm saying? And we got people dead in the streets. So I will say that, like, all of these guys really missed an opportunity. Chris Rock really missed an opportunity, and Will Smith missed an opportunity because they're rich. They're going to go home. They're going to be okay. What happens to the young people who watching this? And you know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. And we just saw like years of, man, it's the rich white people doing everything they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They get away with it. I mean, these guys is rich black folk, and it don't end like that in real life. And I think that that's something that people should probably remember. What were you saying there, Besa?
I was just going to say, I was actually going to bring up that exact point in terms of, yeah, we can react to things, but in reality, if you were to walk up to somebody at Safeway, let alone a damn Winco child, and, maybe you said something crazy about their wife in the meat aisle, and then you slap them up in the parking lot. Look, there's no security around like that. There's no major media around like that. There's no cameras around like that, which makes it to where, yeah, something like that can truly go left. So what I'm hoping, being that, like O said, they did miss an opportunity here to actually have a conversation like men, I'm hoping that, and I know everybody's like, I'm so sick of red table talk, but I think this would be a good red table talk for them to actually sit down and speak on the situation as men and actually bring something up like that to let people know this might have been how I handled this situation. But just so you know, if you do this in the real world, because yes, Hollywood is the real world, but everything happens a little bit different over there, right? Your outcome might not be the same. Just because Chris Rock isn't pressing charges, if you were to do that in Safeway, you might go to jail anyways. So I would love for them to actually have a conversation with this and kind of break that down and maybe even talk about some different ways to handle a situation like that, and also, educate people on alopecia.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. So, Besa, tell people before we let you go how they can keep up with you and when they're going to see you again.
I'll be back on Friday. Everyone with Besa pretty much airs Fridays at 10 a.m. You can always keep up with me on social media at Besa Gordon. And on the weekends, Jammin' 107.5, Sundays, B95 in Fresno.
All right, good stuff.
There
see
we
you
go.
soon, Besa.
Good to see you, Besa.
Besa, man, she stayed on top of that, huh?
Always. I mean, this is a really interesting topic, and to see this play out on live TV, at the Oscars, I don't know if they've ever had something so kind of bold actually happen there. I mean, we've seen different people say things when they're accepting their awards. We've seen this in award shows, people calling other people out. But this right here, it was like a whole break in everything. He just got up, walked right on that stage and slapped him. Whoa, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, and like I said, man, clearly it was real. It was real life, because that's real life that we saw there. But it don't happen like that out here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just really not. I think the example of that is we see even one step down from that, and we see like all these people who get shot and killed, celebrities out there in LA, the nightclub, this and that, pipe rolls over, and all these kind of things, man. And people should just really want to keep that in mind. And this, man, in every crisis, there's an opportunity. And I think what Besa said there was real deal. Maybe this is an opportunity for these guys to actually settle things like men, and raise some awareness around alopecia.
I want to say one more thing though too,
sure.
because I think what she said was really poignant here. Not only that they settle it, but that they do it publicly, because again, it's really showcasing how the best way to deal with things. And if they do it privately and we don't really get to see, I love the idea of the red table talk, and then both sitting down, everybody being able to see how they deal with this on the other side of all this happening, so that we can bring that message out so people can understand, okay, wait, this happened, but they were able to actually settle this amicably and not have to go to any extremes around, any extra violence.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people so what Besa was saying, she was like, did we see some people like, oh, I wish I had a husband or a boyfriend or whoever that would stand up for me like that. And let me just tell you though, is that, man, the prison is full of people who really, you know what I'm saying? And where their stand up wasn't no slap, it was a strap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, it's real. Like, man, anyways.
Yeah. You're right.
This is a good topic to talk about today, because it started off in entertainment, but you see that a lot of this stuff is going on is on the everyday. But we're gonna take a quick break right now, and this would be you, Salman. We're gonna take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're gonna talk about these brothers who are opening up a brewery on the block on 23rd Avenue, 23rd Avenue Brewing. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
When the pandemic hit, it did affect me. As a barber, I had my own personal reasons why I didn't get vaccinated. At the time, I didn't check the actual source. I thought the vaccine was developed too fast, but I was talking to a doctor and he was telling me more about the vaccine and what it can do to protect us and our family. I wanted to get back to that once was, right? I do feel safe knowing that I am vaccinated. I just hope what I'm saying is reaching into people's heads to know that this is the best decision for all of us.
Hey there, it's Trey Holiday. And of course, Besa and I had to take a trip back to Market Street Shoes to grab some items. They always know what to show us. And let me tell you, we both spent quality time to be sure we collected some amazing additions to our wardrobes. They have some of the most unique bags, shoes, and accessories. I mean, the whole shebang. It's always a good time when I get to shop with my girl Besa. Make sure you go check out Market Street Shoes, y'all, and you too can walk out with some dope gear.
Welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Man, that was a good segment.
Yeah, it really was. Good discussion all around.
Yeah, no, good stuff. All right, so this is really good news here. I don't know. This might have you drinking beer, maybe. These brothers, man, from the Central District, and they started a brewery. It's called 23rd Ave Brewery, right? And the crazy thing is, you'll see in this segment here, put together by Salman Abukwashi, that these guys, they named their company 23rd Ave Brewery well before they ended up on 23rd. They just happened to, it worked out for them to be on 23rd in Jackson. But like, man, they love the neighborhood, they love the block and everything. So they're like, yo, we making beer. We're gonna call it 23rd Avenue Brewing. Salman caught up with these guys a few weeks ago. Here's their story.
Yo, this is Mario.
This is David.
And we're at 23rd Ave Brewery. 23rd Ave, I mean, what it's all about is it's a family business. It's us. This is our block that we grew up on. This is our business. This is our passion. We love beer. We love each other. So, yeah, when you're asking me what it's about, it's a homecoming for us. Like, this is a big deal. So, what it's about, black folks making good ass beer.
Very passionate about beer. I think we're all little microchemists in our own way, and we really just love the process of making beer. Now, if you see my face or his face on some beer, you're gonna get excited. You're gonna be like, man, who are them brothers? What they doing? Right? So it started out a little bit more organic than that. We started off doing it as a hobby, to try something new together, spend time, hang out with each other. And it grew into the idea that, hey, okay, we're getting good at this. Okay, now people are starting to ask us about that beer that they tasted the other day, right? That grew into tasting parties, right? So we started hosting tasting parties, and that grew more. People wanted even more. We started having to give it to people for parties, and just making sure that it was in people's hands. How it really came with the business idea was just coming up with a vision. What does 23rd Ave mean to us, right? And then what does 23rd Ave mean to our people?
Like, we weren't even really, like, to be completely honest, we weren't even, like, super considering the Central District just because, like, real estate's expensive here, et cetera, and, like, just looking at some of the things when we first start glancing at, like, prices for rent, et cetera, we wasn't really looking at the Central. We was actually looking further out to go get something a little cheaper, but we found something that not only represents literally us, like, we named this before, we got here, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so. But we found an opportunity kind of late in the looking process of finding a facility to produce our product, and this was it. And it was very serendipitous.
The beer that we really focus on and make, we have what we call an OG basement porter. That one's something that we've been brewing from the beginning. We have a marshmallow stout. We try to do some different kind of flavors, kind of really like bring out the taste buds a little bit. We have a pepper peach, what is that, an ale?
Yeah.
Pepper peach ale.
Yeah, it's an ale, yeah.
We got a couple pilsners like that we do. We got a pineapple IPA. We got a beer called the Black Gold. Yeah, so I mean, we got some great beers on our roster, and you know, we just keep experimenting, exploring, just trying to get better and make different kinds of beer that you don't taste when you go to the store and go get you a 6-pack. A lot of success. We had some early struggles, you know, and we'll have struggles again when we try new things. You know, you never know how it's going to play out, right, when you try new things. But we're very adventurous when it comes to that. Like I said, we're like chemists. We really like the process.
So we're really shooting for before the summer. Right now we are dealing with contractors, and so we're getting different quotes, and we're literally just waiting for them to move. Like, you went in there, we got brew like, you know, like fermenting right now. So I mean, the beer's not an issue, but we're just waiting for some certain things that we can get hooked up in there and make it look nice for y'all. You know, we want y'all to be proud of us, and we want to be proud of ourselves when you walk in and see something nice.
So really what we really want to do is present an experience for our consumer. You're going to come in there, you're going to see merch, you're going to see, you know, beer on the wall, you're going to see shelves that have different merchandising, hats, shirts. You're going to see a photo wall, something you can kind of Instagram, take a photo with your 6-pack, or, you know, just kind of something to create energy just around the whole movement of 23rd Ave Brewery.
If someone knows you believe in them, that gives them more confidence and more strength to kind of like push through difficult times and really lock in their dreams and really chase that. You know, that's why it's important to like really support black business, aside from the fact that, like, you know, black businesses do make dope things. So, you know what I mean, they make dope products, we make dope products. Like, support people. You know, somebody that's, you know, making nice hats, you know, buy a hat. You know, you see somebody making a shirt, buy a shirt. You see somebody making a plate, buy a plate. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this ain't the first time in history this has happened. Like, you know, there's been a lot of success with black people before, and this is how we keep that tradition going, is by support one another.
I mean, I remember at a time when it was just nothing but black businesses around. It's coming back. This means a lot to not only us, but our families, our kids, our nieces, nephews, and our community.
So you can find the GoFundMe on our Instagram account. It's linked in the bio. So go ahead and go to Instagram, check that out. You know, if you feeling generous, go ahead and support us. You know, we cool like that. So, you know, throw us a little dollar if you can.
Appreciate it.
Aw, 23rd Ave Brewery. Look at them doing so well for themselves. And they were like, you know, we want to make y'all proud. I'm thinking to myself, y'all already are doing it. Again, they have stepped out on and believed in themselves enough to know that they had something that was working. I love hearing this story and their background, how they were doing these tasting parties, allowing people to taste it. The people wanted it more. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Sometimes it's about supply and demand. That's what business is made off of, and they are doing a great job. I can't wait for them to open.
Yeah, no doubt. People are asking for the link to GoFundMe. We just put that in there right now. Man, support these brothers. Support black business. You know, this is what it's all about. I mean, another thing I will say too, Trina, is in this episode right here of the Morning Update Show, I think that, you know, we're showing our value in community. You know, to produce segments telling different stories. You know, the story there with Donita. And we got us moms and community coming together for each other. And 23rd Avenue Brewing, these young black entrepreneurs, man, gonna have a brewery right there on 23rd and Jackson.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm telling you, after we did the tasting over there at Bellican Brewery in Belize, you know, I was hearing about that. They said pepper peach ale. I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe that'll be a great one to try. I just love being able to see the process, and now having seen it and on a big scale, I love that they are taking their passion to this level, so that we in the community can enjoy them, can patron their business. Even if you don't drink beer, you can always stop in and get some merch. Like they said, take a picture at their photo wall. So I'm looking forward to it coming to fruition.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, it's been a good show, and we still under time. Imagine that.
Show.
All right. Good stuff. So we got a few things here. I want to remind everybody that 1 week from today, Art of the Matter is Art of the Matter, episode 6, featuring Caleb Bailey. That's the 6 p.m. T-Dub. This Art of the Matter is really taking off, man. You know what I'm saying? It is really doing well. So that's 1 week from today. And then next Tuesday, Community Voices is back. We'll put this one up here. Community Voices. No, that's not Community Voices, my friend. It even said, there you go, Salman. Community Voices is back. Vaccine Hesitancy, a Black Perspective. And that is next Tuesday at 6:30. And that's actually going to be hosted by Besa Gordon. And we got a few people. Reverend Willis is on there. Some people from Tacoma are on there. Just seeing people's thoughts about it. And then tomorrow, now we're ready to go with that. Tomorrow we got Moni Tepp, Education Director over at Creative Justice, and your girl, Soma Ayers, artist and creator from beloved King County. Soma's going to be there tomorrow as well.
Oh, amazing. I'm so glad that those guys get to join us on the show. What two amazing powerhouses in one show. Oh, it's going to be a terrific Tuesday indeed, my friend.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, we're going to get out of here. Trey Holiday, any last words?
Always see yourself as a part of the solution, you guys. I mean, clearly the brothers over at the brewery have done it. Donita Sinclair has done it. No matter what your circumstances, there's always a way to better your community by being a part of the solution. Be inspired. Do so.
All right. Good stuff. Man, just want to say that we appreciate everybody. It was lots of exciting stuff happening here at Converge. We're going to be updating you here real soon. So I want to say thank you for your support. And on that note, I want to remind everybody, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
What do I see through a lens of fear? 1,000 little steps to go. What do I fear after all these years? Lord knows I don't even know. I've been running on the edge of a sundial, sleeping in the shadow. I've been begging you to see me, then hiding beyond the unreachable. Looking out left on a right-hand turn, just trying to make a deal. Lazy shoes and love is a love that churn. That's the kind of food that heals. I've been searching for the end of an era, waiting to be ready. The world is bigger than a moment. Be steady, that's how you can feel it's real. But I feel naked in my new clothes, 'cause I got used to hiding. 'cause I got you.